Welcome back to the #1 alt-right wrestling podcast on iTunes. I feel like it's been a long time since we said that.
Didn't you say it at Shane's?
I did not. Neo-Nazis came up, but we didn't talk about... We didn't...
Not enough conversation
identify ourselves as... Look, Drew, it's 2020. It's all about identity. It's about you. It's about identity politics. It's about what you identify as and why anyone who's ever said anything to anyone like you is a bad person and needs to be canceled.
2020, I'm going back to a full human being.
Ah, you're going to regret it.
No more cats. Hey, you know what? You have nobody to blame but yourself.
What do you mean?
You're the reason why I don't want to be a Catman anymore.
If
I'd never seen that movie, I would have still been a regular half man, half cat. But because of you, I am now just a regular man.
I thought it only solidified your stance because you didn't like the people in Cats doing whisker face.
You would think that, but you were wrong.
So we're coming today with our fresh new podcasting gear, except we're not. It's still my phone because we got the wrong SD card for the new thing. But probably next time, we'll probably actually have a new thing.
I will go trade in that SD card tomorrow at the drugs at work.
That the child in the electronics section of the drugstore lied to you about.
Whatever the bare minimum age to legally work in Canada that's how old that kid was. His birthday was the day before, and he just got hired there.
We caught him at whatever 15 in one day, whatever our child labor laws are. I also love that you were describing the piece of equipment, and he's like, I don't think we have anything like that. And then you showed him pictures, like, oh, we have that.
Oh yes, that.
That we have that right here.
Well, that's what you meant.
He was looking at it.
Yeah,
that was fun. So so listen to this one. And then see how...
shitty cell phone quality.
Shitty cell phone quality in a blistering 64 kilobits a second. And then listen to the next one and see if it sounds any better. And if it does sound better, we did it. And if it doesn't, we did a bad job and wasted money.
Yeah, if we didn't, I'm going to return all that stuff.
Yeah. I think it will. I think it's... Yeah. I think the idea of it is this will sound better than a cell phone.
This is better than the phone you're using.
Yeah.
Phones are meant for calls and not recording podcasts.
Yeah, all the phone calls we make these days. Yeah. I'm always on the phone. You got your Bluetooth earpiece in. Yep. You're looking like a real David Liebehart.
Literally, if anyone calls me, I won't answer the phone because I'll be like, what the fuck?
Why are you calling me?
Text me.
Yeah.
I don't answer phone calls.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, leave me a voicemail, man.
For sure. Because I also check my voicemails.
Absolutely.
That I've never even set up on my phone.
Big voicemail guy. Guys, let's bring back voicemail in 2020.
Let's bring back pagers.
Ooh, two-ways? Love it.
Yeah.
I was never really clear what a two-way is. Is that just a pager, or is that some sort of, souped-up pager that drug dealers got in the late 90s?
Isn't it a pager that you can send sort of vague messages on?
I guess it was very primitive text messaging.
911 emergency, and you can send that to someone.
It's the popo.
I don't think you were the popo. I think if you could send someone hey, it's an emergency. Please call me immediately.
Please, this girl's ID was fake. 911.
And now I killed her, so you got to come help me. Give her the body.
Look, she had an oops, and now I need a little bit of help. What are you going to do? Not help me out?
There's no help for you.
All right. I feel like I've been told that a lot.
This podcast is going to be 3
let's
fucking
go
hours
a little shorter than last year.
Long.
Let's go a little longer than last year.
So let's not preamble too much.
Yeah, I guess this one doesn't need a big preamble.
Into it.
With this one, we actually have stuff planned. So
one of us is more prepared than the other.
Which?
You?
Me? I guess. I don't know. I feel like in years past, I have gone completely off the dome. I don't know. You have stuff written.
Yeah, lots of stuff written.
I think we're doing pretty good. I think we're going to crush this.
Maybe.
I think people are going to write in. I think they're going to give us a call. I think we're going to open the airways right now. Going to give us a call. 591-ROCK, 591-ROLL.
909-9900.
1-900-909-9900. And tell us what a good job we're doing.
Yeah, you know what? Feel free to call us on Scott's phone at any point during this podcast. He will answer.
I will let it go to voicemail.
Yes.
I will listen to it.
Listen to your messages.
And I will get back to you promptly. I miss my old sarcastic, outgoing voicemail message, but I had to change it when I was waiting to hear back about a job. But I'm not right now, so I should probably just change it back. Except nobody calls anymore, as previously stated.
What was your sarcastic message? I don't think I ever called you.
It's something to the effect of like, hey, you've reached Scott at 1-900-909-9900. Leave me a message, and I will drop everything and get back to you.
You're a cunt.
Yeah. Oh, it's like the beginning of that song, that 3-6 Mafia song. Gotta stay high.
I'm only familiar with the Mark Henry theme.
Hey, they're Oscar winners, man.
That is true.
3-6 Mafia.
3-6 Mafia has more Oscars than Christopher Nolan. Heads up.
Yeah. Yeah. So does Common and John Legend.
And Lars Sullivan has more 5-star matches than Bryan Danielson.
He's also had his dick sucked more times.
Hey, let's not spoil it. We're definitely talking about that later. Like, for a while. So, stay tuned.
I'm sure that you and I both have that on the same thing.
I got a lot to say, and we got a lot to do. First, we're going to talk about it, then we're going to recreate it.
Okay, but I'm going to be the other guy.
Okay. That's fine. But we're only recreating it in audio.
Oh, yeah.
We're doing gay audio.
Gay.
Ooh, is that like a niche that's not a thing? Can we make it a thing?
Like
Shane...
audiobook porn?
Yeah. And
that has to exist.
And Shane's they-them lingerie shop.
Audio porn has to exist.
I guess there's audio porn.
Yeah, it's got to exist.
Guys, send us some. Send Drew some. Just Drew.
Fine.
Send it to Drew, he'll forward it to me. Send to Drew, he'll call me, leave me a voicemail about it, and then we'll talk.
The voicemail will just be the audio porn, though.
Yeah. But will it be the actual... You'll just be playing the...
Yeah, off my phone,
off yours,
onto your voicemail.
Okay, I was
and
asking...
And you can listen to it on your voicemail.
I was asking if it was going to be that, or because it's all in your phone, and you can't play the thing like from your phone when you're calling me, you listen to it, and then call me, and then try to recreate it yourself into my voicemail.
Burner phones.
Ooh, burner phones, of course.
Double phones.
You gotta buy a phone and a cell phone.
Yeah. One phone is for work-related things, and the other one is for bisexual activities.
Yep.
It's a bi-phone.
That's fair.
It's like a biplane.
That's what those are.
Yeah. They go both ways.
Interesting. Up and down.
Yes. They take and receive. Wait, do they give and receive?
They take and receive.
Take and receive.
That's what you. That's your. That's you greedy pig. That's your version of bisexual. Oh, I'm bisexual. I take it up the butt and receive it up the butt.
Yep. If I was ever chemically castrated, I'd just be such a power bottom or such a lazy bottom, like
just lying there,
just
starfishing.
Pile up some pillows under my tummy and just lay there. Anyways,
perfect segue. What do you think was the best gimmick of 219?
I hope you and I have the same answer.
Orange Cassidy.
Oh. We don't have the same answer.
I don't know if mine was sarcastic or not.
Is there a question mark next to it?
Absolutely.
Oh. I got a couple question marks next to some of mine.
I have 2 with question marks and 0 without question marks.
I'm going to put an exclamation point next to Bray Wyatt. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
He's my other question mark.
Oh, you're dumb.
I don't know. It's a gimmick.
I just put Car Noir.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Aw, Muffin, you forgot.
I'm going to take it.
All right.
I'm going to steal it.
Are you going to take it and receive it?
I'm using my steal.
1 steal per award.
I am using my steal.
Yeah. For anyone who is not familiar with Car Noir, he is is he actually French, or just his name is French? Or do we not even know?
He's European.
He's a European who is French for Black Swan, and literally just does a Black Swan gimmick. Not sure if he's gay, not sure if he's just playing up the gimmick, don't know where he's from, don't know what his real face looks like. We know he's a real international man of mystery.
But we love him. And he...
Also, I've only seen him wrestle Dragunov, and that's it.
Yeah. I've seen that, and I think the Pac match early this year. maybe.
Pac or Pac?
Ugh, it's Pac, but I can't say it.
Because you're retarded.
It doesn't feel right. Also, I'm retarded.
Okay, so your 2 question marks for Orange Cassidy and Bray Wyatt, question mark?
Yeah.
And what was your non-question mark?
None.
Oh, you just said those 2.
I have 2 question marks, end of story.
Yeah, well, you know.
What do you got? Or was
just
that...
Cara Noir.
Yeah.
That was the only one that I felt was important.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Yeah, like the only ones I thought of like that were gimmicks were fucking Bray Wyatt and Orange Cassidy.
I can give you a list of 100 worst gimmicks.
Sure.
But we don't do that anymore.
Yeah, we don't. Because there were too many and it was taking up too much time.
Alright, what's next? I want to let you host it, because I felt like I hosted it the last, 10 years.
You love to host it.
I do not like
you're a real Gene Rayburn.
I would rather you do the talking so that I don't have to hear my own voice.
But Drew, if I know one thing about you, it's that what you love to do is you love to do a podcast, and then when that podcast comes out on the old internet box, you download that goddamn podcast, you plug it into your Microsoft Zune, and you throw them Bob Marley earbuds in there, and you listen to the shit out of man, it's so much easier to say watch the shit out of someone than listen to the shit out of something. Well, anyway.
It is shit that I'm listening to,
You
so...
can't stop listening to your own voice. You love it. It doesn't make you cringe. It doesn't annoy you. It doesn't make you sad to be alive. Am I...
Yeah, you're nailing it.
In the ballpark?
You're in the ballpark.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
Worst Fed?
You are hosting, sir.
Just make... Because I feel like I had a page that didn't print, so just make sure I'm not...
Yeah, I'm going down the list.
Just make sure I don't miss 7 awards in a row. That'll be a clue.
Match of the year. What?
I was gonna, and here we are. Match of the year. Man, how did we go so long last year? Worst Fed? Is
easiest answer in the world because it has been the champion for consistently 100 years.
Well, that's the thing. It actually hasn't. It maybe should have been.
The last couple years, right?
Because before that, there was another strong contender.
Yeah, but they don't exist anymore.
That contender is so dead.
Border City Wrestling.
That nobody cares anymore. Yeah, because
it's easily WWE, but it is a very close second place to a massive downfall of Ring of Honor.
We have the exact same answers.
Okay.
1 WWE, 2 Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
It's super easy. They're probably worse feds than Ring of Honor, but nobody has gone further downhill than Ring of Honor.
They have television.
They have television.
So how, I feel like, yes, there are worse feds.
Yeah.
But when you have television,
Uh-huh.
I think that puts you higher than other companies.
But here's a counterpoint to that. Ring of Honor has the Bouncers.
Sure.
Your favorite team.
They also have Cheeseburger.
Yep.
Who is Jushin Thunder Liger's favorite wrestler.
Yes.
So maybe they're better than we think.
Maybe they are better than we think. Yeah, it was... We were solidly behind TNA as the worst fed through 2016. But as TNA lost relevance and WWE stayed the same, it has been clearly WWE since 2017. And
will probably be WWE for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, 'cause basically, I think WWE is... Right now, they're just 20 years ahead WCW. So, right now, they're in 99 WCW phase. They're not, business collapsing bad, but they're really bad.
Yeah.
And if they try a little harder, they can be business collapsing bad.
So there's too much money on the line. So
that's the thing. It's WCW if WCW had $5 billion.
I want to make a bold prediction, but I don't think it's realistic.
Uh-huh.
But you got to imagine, I was going to say in 2020, but I don't think it'll be this year. But you got to imagine that, at some point, Fox and USA get, really agitated with the way things are run.
Yeah.
And then they're, get put on, probation or something.
Something, yeah.
It's gonna have to happen.
Yeah, I'm interested in what happens, in 4 years when the Fox deal is up. And how things look then.
Yes.
Because besides their TV money, by every metric, they are horrible.
Yes.
They're, all-time low TV ratings, all-time low house shows.
Yeah.
like merch,
attendance figures,
attendance.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're like Fox. I feel like is more patient because they have their hands in SmackDown a lot more.
Yes.
Because they want it to specifically be sport.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like Raw is a lot more Vince McMahon.
Well, and
Raw, obviously Vince is still involved in both.
Yeah.
But Raw is a lot more of the very dumb. Although I guess you have all the Roman Reigns, Baron Corbin.
Oh no, you got bullshit on both. But like Raw's the #1 show on USA. So
Scott, name me one other current
Bird Notice
show on USA.
Elephant Nikita, Pacific Blue, Silk Stockings. I can only name things that came on after Raw in the 90s. That's all I can do.
Yeah. Exactly. You can't tell me one other thing on USA.
That one with
Suits.
Chris Lee? The one with Chris Lee?
Who is Chris Lee?
No. One word, last name. Chris Lee.
Who's Chris Lee?
I don't know. They did. I feel like it was a come on after Raw reality show.
That's the name of the show?
It was something to do. I don't know the name of the show. It involved a man or a family or something named Chris Lee. I don't know if it's just Crisle or what, but I swear to God it was something. Or, counterpoint, I have a brain tumor.
Chris Lee knows best.
Chris Lee knows best.
Follows Atlanta-based, self-made, multimillionaire Todd Chrisley, his devoted wife Julie, and their 5 children who live a seemingly picture-perfect Southern life with everything money can buy. I have never heard of this or him in my entire life.
I think the guy hosted Raw once when they were doing the host shit.
Cool.
I think that's how I heard of it. I'm like, what is Chris Lee knows best? Like, I thought I was supposed to know who the guy was and stuff, and I didn't. And I don't think anyone else did either.
Suits?
Yeah.
Okay.
But Suits is done, right?
Queen of the South?
Of course, Queen of the South.
Treadstone?
Everyone knows. Oh, true, Treadstone.
The Purge? The Sinner?
I actually watched The Sinner. The Sinner was good.
Pearson?
Nope.
It had Psych.
No.
It had Shooter. It had White Collar. It had
White
Colony.
Collar, that was another
one. It had Covert Affairs. It had Burn Notice. Royal Pains.
Yeah.
Damnation. Graceland. Oh, Ms. and Mrs.
Of course.
Playing House. Law and Order Criminal Intent.
Oh, it's Playing House, those...
I don't know. Girls.
Those female comedians.
Sure.
Lennon Parham and Jessica St. Clair?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
American Ninja Warrior. Straight Up with Steve Austin.
What's Straight Up?
No, you think I know?
I don't know.
I'm literally just reading off the internet.
Your eyes said that you knew.
Falling Water. Sirens. Oh, I did like Sirens.
You did like Sirens.
I did like Sirens.
I thought that was a Comedy Central show.
No, I think just maybe in Canada is where it got
was on comedy here.
On comedy, that's all.
Huh.
That was my one bad comedy show I watch. Ooh, Monk.
Oh yeah, that was a USA show.
The
The Sinner was good. The Sinner's
I can keep going if you want.
Jessica Biel and Bill Pullman.
Rush, Touching Evil, Airwolf, The Starter Wife, La Femme Nikita, Silk Stockings,
There it
The Dead
is.
Zone, Complications, The 4400, Necessary Roughness, Fairly Legal, In Plain Sight. Okay, I'm done. I don't want to play this game.
I like the idea of fairly legal. Is she legal? She's fairly legal.
Fairly legal.
I mean, she
was 17 and fairly legal.
So yeah, WWE's the worst fed.
Welcome to my recap of every show that has been on the USA Network.
Yep.
See you next year.
This is USA Talk with Drew. But it's not talk about the USA, just the USA Network.
Mm.
What do you think about the USA? Doing good?
Down with America.
Down with America?
Jihad.
Jihad. You heard it here.
We are the #1. We can't be the #1. We're probably like the number 10 jihadist podcast.
Number 10 jihadist wrestling podcast?
Yes.
Man. Well, I guess
right behind something to wrestle with.
I guess there's probably a bunch in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Now that wrestling's so big in Saudi Arabia.
Of course.
Yeah.
Throwing water bottles at women. I love it.
That wasn't the worst thing that happened that weekend.
Nope. Okay. Moving on.
Best technical.
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
You watch a lot of technical wrestling.
I literally didn't write anything down because I hate technical wrestling. And I was like, I don't know, who do I like that is a technical wrestler?
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I don't know, like, is Sonata a technical wrestler?
Yeah.
Is Shingo a technical wrestler?
Not as much.
All right, my answer is Sonata.
That's fair. Sonata's my number
like,
3.
do I know who technical... Like, yeah, I could have said Zack Sabre Jr. I don't like Zack Sabre Jr. and I don't watch his matches. David Starr. I don't like David Starr and I don't watch his matches. So, like... what am I supposed to do? Just write down something for the sake of writing something down? That would be dishonest to our listeners and to you.
I respect that. Let's look at my actual answer and not last year's awards. Nope, still can't see it. Well, it's gone. We tried. See you next year. There it is.
The fans of this podcast will never understand what it's like to have to do a podcast with someone like you.
I take that out of context as a compliment.
Sure.
Best technical, I got Timothy Thatcher.
Uh-huh. Hot take, I've never seen a Timothy Thatcher match that wasn't half of that first Dan match.
That's all the Thatcher?
Yeah.
I like Thatcher a lot. I think he's the most deliberate wrestler, if that makes sense.
Uh-huh.
Just like everything he does, it's just like it looks real, and obviously he's very good technically and does like work shoots and all that. So yeah, I had him number 1, Sabre number 2, and Sonata number 3. And I'm pretty sure that Sabre Sonata at 2 and 3 is based entirely on the Sabre versus Sonata match from the G1, which I really liked. And should we talk about technical wrestling for 20 more minutes or go on to the next one? What do you think?
Yeah, let's talk about a thing I don't like.
Yeah, I thought you'd be down. Most improved. What do you think?
I went first last time. You go first this time.
I wasn't keeping score.
I'm just trying to make it, a little interesting. You go, I go, you go, a little push and pull.
A little take and receive.
A little take and receive.
I got a few. I got Rhea Ripley, who I really like now and had barely heard of at the beginning of the year.
Did you call her Rhea Ripley?
Rhea.
Sure.
Like Caroline Rhea of Sabrina the Teenage Witch fame.
Yeah.
And
Match Game fame, because that's what she does now.
And Match Game and probably some other like various daytime shows.
Sure. And she's fat.
I bet she had a talk show. Tell me Caroline Rhea never had a talk show.
I can't.
You can't.
I can't.
I knew it.
I can't, but the internet will tell us.
Will it?
I don't know. Maybe.
Well, wonders never cease.
All right, so I
bet you did.
You got Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley. I guess it's Rhea, right? That shows how much I've actually watched.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with Rhea Ripley, and Narita, who through luck got to be in the Super Juniors this year and had some real fun matches. And once he graduates from being a New Japan young boy, which he has been for 17 years, then he'll probably get to do some more good stuff. And then I also got a man that I believe you know as Dallas.
You're weird. I don't know why you would choose him. How many of his matches have you actually seen?
Most of his G1.
You're gay.
And it's certainly the best Lance Archer I've ever seen. Like, him and Ospreay was legitimately good.
That's like saying it's the best Miz you've ever seen.
Yeah, and
just because the rest of it is dog shit, and he has one good year.
Yes, that's what most improved means. If Miz was in the G1 this year and had some good matches, he would get it.
Could you imagine that?
That would be pretty funny.
Scott, I got some bad news for you.
No, the Caroline Rhea show?
She did not have her own show.
Disappointing.
She did have her own series of comedy specials like that she hosted where other comedians came on.
Okay.
Called the Caroline Rhea and Friends TV specials.
Catchy.
And it was nobody you've ever heard of.
That's strange. I thought Caroline Rhea would get the the hottest up-and-coming comedians. Yeah, so I got those 3 for Most Improved, and then I had Moxley ?
Interesting.
Because, like, he definitely had a better year this year than any year he had in WWE.
Yes.
Except maybe the first Shield year, I don't know. But besides that, he was basically dog shit.
It's kind of hard because he's a completely different wrestler.
Yeah.
It's not like he's doing the same thing and got better.
Yeah.
He's doing a completely different thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that I didn't know how to classify him, but I thought it was worth a mention. And that's what I got.
I only wrote down 2 names, but they are part of one team.
Oh.
They are...
Interesting.
Sure.
And sure. Fuck you, sure. Fuck you, yeah.
For a team that mostly does junior tags...
Yeah.
Both of them did really well for themselves in the Best of Super Juniors.
Yes, especially Show.
Especially Show.
Especially Show.
I think they should break up, and Show should be a singles guy.
I think that will
obviously
happen.
They'll both be singles guys, but I think Show needs to be a singles guy like now.
I think that
will
happen.
Whereas Yo could probably just like team with Rocky Romero or something.
Yeah. Do we go hot take prediction? Does Show win the IWGP Junior in 2020?
Ooh, that's tough.
That is tough.
Well, if we go off of my predictions, which is Ospreay loses and becomes a straight heavyweight.
Full-time heavyweight.
They're going to have a lot of open space in that division.
Yeah.
Right? Because, I mean, you really only have, like, Hiromu, Dragon Lee, and...
Who?
Ryu Lee.
Thank you.
And, I don't know. Who else do they even have in the juniors?
That's it.
I mean, just, like, guys who are in tag teams in the factions.
Yeah, well, Phantasmo... Phantasmo, Taiji.
Yeah.
Robbie Eagles, I guess.
Kanemaru.
And then,
technically. Taka, maybe? No, I'm just kidding.
Not really.
Yeah, I mean, I think somebody's going to have to do it unless just, like, the 3 dudes just trade it back and forth for the whole year, which they could. It's not like they've never done that before.
Which they absolutely could, so.
I don't know if he'll win it in 2020. I feel like he will... I feel like they will break up in 2020.
They could.
They will probably have a feud. I think Show goes heel.
Yeah.
I think he's got more charisma, so he has to be the heel.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
But yeah, I think they are the most improved for this year.
Yeah, I'm good with that. It was a fun one. I almost want to do it in reverse order because the bad one's more fun. Well, I have worst feud storyline and then best feud storyline. I'd almost rather do best first and then do worst because I feel like we're gonna have more to talk about with worst.
Yeah, we're gonna have way more to talk about.
Let's do best. I had two things.
Okay.
The booking of the aforementioned Super Juniors, specifically the booking like leading up to the finals, which was Shingo
running the table,
everyone in his block. And Ospreay, like, barely scraping through, like, taking a couple losses, makes the final on points.
Yeah.
And then beats the unbeatable... and Shingo had not lost a fall since he debuted.
Yeah.
So that was his first, like, time being pinned.
Noted Super Junior Shingo Takagi.
Noted Super Junior Shingo Takagi.
Who is bigger than, like, Ishii.
He was absolutely bigger than Ishii.
So, does that mean Ishii's a Super Junior?
Yeah, Ishii's gonna... Okay, here's my hotter take.
Bolder prediction?
King of Pro Wrestling October pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. The IWGP Junior title match is Sho versus Tomohiro Ishii. Now that's a take.
Yeah.
So that was really good. And then what was cool was both of them ended up doing the G1 and were 2 of the best guys in the G1. And then other best feud storyline, which I got to give a lot of credit to for being a very effective way to get me excited about a match that I don't want to see either guy in. Cody and Chris Jericho. Really good build, like the best promos of the year. For a match between 2 guys I don't give a shit about.
An old lesbian and good old 3 stars Cody Rhodes.
The 3-star machine, Cody Rhodes. Yeah, so respect on that. But they did a great job, all things considered.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't take this award seriously.
Uh-oh.
Because I wrote that the best storyline was the Saudi Arabia plane.
I mean, I have that in the other one.
No, I was gonna say that's the best storyline of the year.
We'll talk about that in worst.
But yeah, definitely the booking of...
Was it the whatever year it was? I guess was it 2 years ago? Where I think for best I had Paige and Del Rio.
Except for we didn't get the conclusion we wanted.
Murder suicide. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I guess there's still time.
No,
they're both still alive.
Yeah, but he's too busy getting beat up by Tito Ortiz, and she's too busy.
He's too busy
getting a fat face.
He's too busy taking dives for retired fighters.
Yeah, I think the booking of the Super Juniors was pretty sick. Like, I think I even had said at one point, like, what if Shingo just runs the table? And, like, and the whole thing, like, wins the whole thing.
Yeah, and he's like, I am the best, no one can beat me forever. Fuck you.
Pretty much, yeah.
Which I thought there was a chance of that. Like, I didn't know who was going to win between Ospreay and Shingo. I'm like, maybe just Shingo just beats everyone forever.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Gotta push somebody, right?
Yeah.
And then the other one that I thought was pretty good, I guess, was the breakup of Kobayashi and Sakamoto.
Yeah.
Where they sort of like...
They both sort of got new partners.
Two monster powers that can't work together anymore because they're like both the big stars.
Yeah.
I did like that. I mean, it probably could have gone on a lot longer. But I guess their fear was like, well, we don't want to turn one of them heel.
Right.
So we just have to like break them apart.
Yeah.
And then give them partners that the other one can beat up.
Yeah. And we got some Sakamoto bodyguard teaming out of that.
That was pretty sick. Until Bodyguard's...
Until Bodyguard's... Yeah, a shame.
Yeah. Poor Bodyguard.
Yeah. Is that everything you got for feud/storyline?
Yeah.
Well, let's get to the more interesting one. Worst feud/storyline. I've got a couple.
I just wrote one because it is just simply... there is other things. I thought of other things, and I said, no, I want to only award this to one thing, and it was everything Bray Wyatt related. Was the only thing I wanted to write down. There are other things for sure, but the red lights, the horrible matches, which will come up later.
Well, someone said somewhere that if Bray had been around the whole year instead of just since, like, October, basically... Yeah. He could have maybe had a run at having all 10 of the top 10 worst matches.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. You know,
he's had like 4 matches and like 3 are like bottom 10.
I think they're all pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like, even the Daniel Bryan one isn't very good. Like, you know you're bad when Daniel Bryan can't have at least a serviceable match with you.
Yeah. And like, Daniel Bryan gave Bray Wyatt back in the day his best match ever.
Yes. So I think just the red lights, the matches, the belt is horrible.
Look, say what you will, but at least the giant cartoon mallet is cool.
That Michael Cole's never seen before.
That Michael Cole, every time he sees it, announces he's never seen it before, which is a fun bit. If it was on purpose,
I'm not going to say what the other ones are because I'm sure you'll say them. But there are like 3 or 4 other ones that immediately pop to mind. But I just wanted to give it to how horrible the Fiend is.
Sure. I'll run through my couple and let me know if I missed any. Multiple cuck angles going on at the same time with Rusev and Mike Kanellis. So that was pretty cool.
Yep. That wasn't one of mine, but yep.
I'm never sure whether to feel bad for Mike Kanellis or not.
I don't. He was on drugs.
Like, he's a junkie, and then he gets clean, I guess. So great, and then he signs a 5-year contract renewal, and then they start to cuck him, and then he asks for his release. And I'm like, well, of course you want your release. But then I think to myself, then why'd you fucking... Like, did you think they were going to do something awesome with you after you re-signed? Like...
I think it's maybe just looking out for your family. Like, at least it's a steady paycheck.
Yeah.
Instead of going back to, like, Ring of Honor where they don't even pay you.
But then, like, immediately, like, asking for his release. So, like, I don't know how much sympathy I can have.
I have no sympathy for him.
Yeah. And also, he sucks.
He does suck. He's very bad. He's not very good.
Yeah, so that's something. But yeah, Vince is really at his hands in storylines this year. It's pretty easy to tell when the storyline is a Vince baby, and both of these are that. And shout out to the whole Rusev angle getting even more bonkers just under the buzzer in 2019.
Lesbians! They're lesbians!
No, one's a lesbian and one hates lesbians. And as soon as it became clear to the crowd that both women weren't lesbians, the crowd completely turned on it.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
As they should.
And then the other one I had, besides the main one, was Roman Reigns / Daniel Bryan / Eric Rowan, and for one night / Luke Harper angle.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm trying to remember the sequence of events. I will say it's not as stupid as the Randy Orton Bray Wyatt sequence of events a couple of years ago.
Look, Randy just wanted to break up the Wyatt family. It's simple.
Which he did by being aligned with them for 6 months.
You know.
Nothing going wrong, and then burning down Bray Wyatt's house.
And burning the corpse of Sister
And burning
Abigail.
the corpse of his sister that he definitely goes and visits every now and then.
He was deep undercover. You want him to break his cover?
I don't want him to break his cover.
Exactly.
No.
You're wrong. Randy did the best.
So somebody ran over or tried to run over Roman Reigns?
Somebody knocked over a stack of like equipment in the back onto Roman.
Right.
And they couldn't tell who it was. And so Roman was convinced it was Bryan.
And going into this, Bryan and Rowan were a heel team together?
Yes. They were the Eco Warriors.
Yes. Which, Bryan had to tone down the eco-warrioring because they had to get rid of the hemp belt because Vince didn't like the pro-environment message.
Because he doesn't believe in global
warming. So that's an entirely different kettle of fish. So by all accounts, it was just supposed to be the start of a face Roman Reigns, heel Daniel Bryan feud.
Correct.
That was the plan.
Correct.
And then somewhere along the way, I don't know if it's just like old dumb 90s internet mentality where like Vince got word that the fans knew that was going to happen, so he couldn't do it.
Yeah, probably.
That sounds like that's as basically as simple as it was.
Yep.
So I guess Bryan was somehow exonerated, and then it looked like it was Rowan, and then there was a second Rowan?
There was a...
some sort of Rowan double?
So what it was, I believe, is that Daniel Bryan told Roman it wasn't him. Like, you're accusing me, but you have no evidence it was me.
The Shaggy defense.
It wasn't me. Even though he caught him in the shower.
Red-handed.
But,
banging on the sofa?
I believe he was banging on the sofa. And so he told Roman, look, I will clear my name. I will find out who it was.
Yeah.
Then it turned out that there was, like, GTV footage so there was GTV footage of the stuff getting knocked over onto Roman, and all you could see was a bald man with a beard in the very corner.
An Eric Rowan type.
An Eric Rowan type walking away.
Right.
So you couldn't really make out that it was Eric Rowan. So when Roman saw that, he went and confronted Bryan.
Yeah.
To which Bryan said, it wasn't me and it wasn't him.
Yeah.
The double Shaggy defense.
Ooh.
So then
3D chess.
Rowan, I believe, Rowan came to Daniel Bryan and said, I found out who it was.
Yeah.
So then they go and they are interrogating a guy who looks like the Wolfman.
Yes, he does.
But with a gingery beard.
Yeah.
And him and Rowan look pretty much the same except for a 25-year age difference.
Yeah.
To which Roman comes and sees this other guy and just pretty much says, like, you guys are fucking idiots. I'm like, what is this? And then it turned out that, obviously Rowan had done it, but without Daniel's knowing.
And so that
then
turned Daniel face.
So then he confronted Rowan about, like, this isn't what an eco-warrior would do, and then Rowan...
You didn't even hit him with a hybrid vehicle.
Yeah, with Tesla. So he turned on him.
Yeah.
And then Harper came back.
Then because they hadn't actually planned this, then the way they changed the storyline, it ended up being Reigns and Bryan versus Rowan and someone, but they didn't have someone, so then they brought back Luke Harper, who had just been sitting at home for like eight months.
Getting paid, getting laid.
With a frozen contract, because they're spiteful cunts, who had the one match, and then that was the last match, right? And now he's released.
In fact, it was.
And that was not a generous release, by the way.
No.
Like, they released him... Like, them releasing him and them just letting his contract lapse would have been the same thing. He got no extra jump on things by them doing it this way.
He had 3 months left on his contract, and they were like...
And a 3-month no-compete.
All right, see ya.
Yeah, and there you go. So, yeah, it was dumb. So that, and besides the earlier one, which was your best storyline, did you have any others that popped to mind that you said?
For worst?
For worst, yeah.
Well, just all of the Baron Corbin, Roman Reigns, like the dog mascot,
the dog shit,
the
of
dog
course,
food, like, all of that stuff is just terrible. Like, horrible booking and horrible storylines. Then I feel like I had another one that was non-WWE related.
The Dark Order?
I mean, Dark Order is pretty bad. No. What was the other one I had? I feel like it was maybe... If I remember it later, we'll either add it onto the list or I'll just blurt it out in the middle of a conversation. But... Oh, yeah, it was this! It was more Roman Reigns. I lied. It was actually another WWE one.
It was probably more Roman Reigns. And then, so last year, I think we both had, for this category, in all caps, Saudi Arabia. And this year, in all caps, I have Saudi Arabia, the sequel. This time, it's crazier?
Yeah, way crazier. But it was the best storyline ever. Of all time.
It really was.
You couldn't have planned a better storyline.
No.
Like, there was nobody creative enough in that company to come up with a storyline better than this.
That's actually true. I agree with that. Yeah. So, the best we had last year was Saudi Arabia murdered a U.S. permanent resident at the embassy. Right? Yeah. And then...
As he left the embassy.
Yeah. And then all the stuff they tried to do to cover it up with, like, a really bad body double and all that shit. And then, where most companies would probably give Saudi Arabia a pass for a little while after that, WWE was full steam ahead.
I believe their exact response was, "We are not a political company, so we do not get involved in political matters."
Yeah, like our CEO's wife isn't the head of Trump's small business
CEO
administration.
Didn't donate millions of dollars to the presidential campaign.
And
also put him in the Hall of Fame. Did you know he's in the Hall of Fame?
Is the president in the Hall of Fame?
President's in the Hall of Fame.
Wow. And that same CEO's same wife wasted $65 million on a senatorial campaign. But they're not political, so that's good. I'm glad they're not political.
Not at all.
So that was the boring Saudi Arabia stuff we had last year. This year...
They said, hold my beer.
Hold my fucking beer. So the first thing was, at the first Saudi Arabia show, they had announced there was going to be a women's match for the first time ever, even though women have done other things in Saudi Arabia, but this is for some reason a big deal. Like
sports.
There's been other women's sports in Saudi Arabia.
I don't know.
Yeah, so I don't know what the deal is, but
tits, white.
I guess it's white. White tits is probably the main thing, and then they very quietly canceled it.
Yeah.
So they did the opposite going to the second Saudi Arabia show of the year.
Didn't say anything.
Where they said nothing until they were very, very sure that they'd probably be allowed to do it. And then they did it. They sent them out there in full bodysuits and T-shirts over top of them.
With no makeup, and they couldn't do their hair.
That's correct.
Their hair had to be tied up and put nice and tightly behind their head.
That's correct.
With no makeup, no glitz and glamour.
And someone threw a goddamn water bottle at Natalia.
At both of them.
Both of them.
Yeah.
I didn't know they
Lacey
both
Evans
got it.
also got one, but it didn't hit her. It went behind her.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's special.
Yeah.
Would you call it special?
Like you.
That's what my doctor said. Son, you're medically special. So that was fun, and that's the only interesting thing that happened in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, that was it. That was absolutely everything.
Everyone had a good time.
Everyone got home to their families.
And everyone got home safe.
They definitely didn't get abandoned by everyone in charge.
That was... So, let's quickly run through what happened. So, the story is, as best anyone can tell, there was some sort of monetary dispute between Vince and the Prince.
Yes.
Because they had not been paid for the previous show.
I think that's a rumor, though. I don't know how true that is.
No, I think that is the thing that was confirmed. The money for this show, it's unclear what the deal was. But they had not been paid for the previous show until like the day before or morning of the second show of the year.
Right.
And as a result, like the WWE crew like delayed the TV broadcast in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And there was a whole thing. So after the show, when I imagine most people would like to get the fuck out of Saudi Arabia,
Yeah.
they ended up sitting on the plane on the runway for how long?
I think it was 9 hours, 8 hours,
Something like that. Yeah.
They were told they weren't allowed to leave the plane.
They were not allowed to leave.
The plane wasn't allowed to move.
They were literally held hostage.
They were held hostage in the plane.
And various wrestlers were like tweeting, Instagramming, or just like personally contacting people saying, "Hey, we can't get out of Saudi Arabia.
They won't let us. They won't let us.
Literally won't let us leave."
I believe there was armed military guards on the runway.
Yes,
in case they tried to like make a run for it.
I guess. Which this could have been.
That's a ballsy maneuver.
This could have been a more interesting story. Like Big E shot in the face
Yeah.
on a runway,
but only because he's black, not because he was running.
No.
Yeah, I don't think they approve of the colors.
But they're a color, don't they know?
They're a different color, though.
Don't y'all know y'all not white?
Yes.
Jihad.
Jihada.
So they were held hostage. A couple of the rich people ended up. Well, they eventually got off of the plane.
Went back to the hotel.
Went back to the hotel because they couldn't. Like, there was not another plane to get. So they're like, we're gonna still hold you hostage, but more comfortable hostage. So go back to your hotel and stay there.
Yeah.
So after they were actually released from the plane, a couple of the richer ones hired like charter flights. So like Vince got out, and I think Roman Reigns got out, and Triple H was Triple H there?
Triple H got out.
He got out, yeah.
Because he was on SmackDown.
He was on SmackDown. I was just wondering if he was there, but I guess he was. And he got one of the private flights.
I think I remember what I remember hearing was that Vince chartered a flight and took Roman, Corbin, like a bunch of other people that were important to SmackDown.
Yeah.
With him.
Okay.
Brock had his own plane. Goldberg had his own plane.
Right.
Taker had his own plane.
Yeah.
So like they were fine. They got out like right away.
Yeah. But the bulk of the roster was fucked.
Yeah.
And
we were told it was mechanical issues.
The official word was mechanical issues. And then I think my favorite thing after that, in their misguided and just like completely just assuming all their fans are mentally retarded, which is only a half truth. The public statement they released about renewing their deal with Saudi Arabia, where they said it's a 10-year deal. We've signed for a 10-year deal with 2 shows a year. We're our expanded deal. That was the original deal. They said, like, we're signed through 2027 with 2 shows a year. Wow, can you believe this expansion? That was the original deal signed in 2017. Mm-hmm. I couldn't believe it. Like, I thought I was misreading it. Mm. I thought someone got something wrong. No, they just straight up lied. And I feel like they didn't get called on that as much as they should have.
Yeah.
Because I think, and to people's credit, the people reading that have so little faith in WWE that they don't actually read it that closely. They just see the headline, WWE renews deal with Saudi Arabia. They say, oh, of course, they're fucking scum. Of course they do that. Mm. Which is true. But in this case, they didn't expand or renew any deal. It was the same deal. And I don't know. It's I find it kind of funny. I find it kind of sad.
What I would love to happen is I want the Crown Prince to have more say in things.
Yes.
And I want them to be like...
Well, I wish they had bought WWE, because they made an offer.
Yeah, but Vince is never selling it.
No. But that would have been awesome.
Because if Vince sold it, you know how fast he would blow through that money?
So fast. I'm going
to open 3 XFLs all at the same time.
3 XFLs. That's the dream.
But, like... Alright. I want you to make a Saudi Arabian guy the champion. Ooh, I don't know if we can do that. Well, you're going to have to make a Saudi Arabian guy your big star. Ooh, I don't know if we can do that. By Saudi Arabian, do you mean a white guy?
Can we... Now, hear me out. Can we paint someone?
Can we make them tan a lot? And even though they're Italian-American, make them into a Saudi Arabian?
I'm listening. I don't know. What would you call him?
Muhammad?
Okay, let me run with that. Hassan.
Okay.
I hope nothing bad happens.
I hope nothing bad happens. I hope that there are no bombings.
I didn't know how many people were killed in that.
Yeah,
it was a lot.
It was a lot.
It was a big one.
It's one of the bigger terrorist attacks.
Yeah.
Of the last 20 years.
Yeah, I forgot how big that one was.
Not bigger.
Nope. That was Virginia Tech.
Mm-hmm. I want to say it was September 14th.
I can't remember.
I never remember it.
Virginia Tech was the biggest one by a Chinese guy. Credit where it's due.
Was he the one that Collective Soul song told him to do it?
Might have been. Did Chinese guys listen to Collective Soul?
I don't know. Yes.
Or do they just listen to...
Scott,
or do they just listen to the pentatonic scale on a harp?
I was going to say, didn't everybody listen to Collective Soul?
I mean, I did, but I don't know. I can't speak for everyone. I'm not a Virginia Tech shooter. Are you looking it up?
Absolutely, I'm looking up the Virginia Tech shooting.
Ugh.
All right. First of all, Captain Racist. He was South Korean.
Shut up.
It says, resident of South Korea. You shitbag.
Look.
No, you know what?
What was his name?
I have had enough of your racism.
Ping
Sung
Pong
Hoi Cho.
Ping pong, the only sport named after its inventor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're making a lot of people angry, my friend. They're gonna turn off and they're gonna never come back. You know what? You're not gonna get any taking or receiving anymore.
Oh no! But our ratings. I'm trying to get sponsorships. I want that Casper mattresses. I want that Squarespace. I want that Warby Parker.
Warby Parker.
It's weird. I love that all those like internet only companies that advertise on podcasts now are opening brick and mortar stores. Mm-hmm. Like on 4th Avenue, there is a Casper store beside a Warby Parker store.
Jesus. Let's see what we got here. Oh yeah.
Oh, Long Johnson.
Oh, Long Johnson. I like that we're getting off track again, and we're not even like a third of the way
We're
through.
okay. It's okay.
He's fine.
He's fine. My dog's not going to bite you. I think he is. He's all right. No, he's going to bite me.
Oh. Apparently, he definitely used one of his videos. In one of his videos, he likened himself to Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And his hatred of the wealthy. In another video, he recreated a scene from the original Old Boy.
I'd rather original Old Boy than Spike Lee Old Boy. Jesus Christ.
What if Spike Lee's Old Boy was, like, inspired by this?
That would actually answer some questions.
I don't see anything about Collective Soul.
Could be a different one.
But I also feel like there was one that was Collective Soul, and there was one that was Blind Melon.
Yeah. There was a Blind Melon one, I think.
All right, you keep going. I'm gonna use the Google machine.
I think we're good for worst feud or storyline. Now for another fun one. Fall from Grace.
All right, I'm gonna tell you what I wrote, and then you can agree with me.
If you only have one,
well, I wrote one with a question mark, but then a follow-up comment based on that question mark.
Sounds complicated.
I wrote Braun question mark, but then afterward wrote any main roster WWE wrestler.
I mean, that is always the safe bet. If you would like for things to go worse for you, get called up. Right?
Yeah.
That's the long and the short of it.
Or just also, like, be a guy that doesn't, like, that Vince doesn't understand.
Yeah. Like, no one's life gets better when they get called up. Because, like, we often try to figure out, like, of all the NXT call-ups over, the last 5 years, like, who's it going better for than it was before? Is it going better for Chad Gable?
Yep. Who? Sorry?
Who? Sorry. Shorty Good. Shorty Good. Is it going better for Apollo Crews?
Who?
Is
he still around?
I don't know. Is it going better for, I don't know, The Revival? Who I guess are getting a comedy gimmick now? So they can...
Yep.
They've had a tumultuous last year. Like, basically everything since they asked for their release early in the year, it's been all over the place. Because, like, they asked for their release, and then WWE's like, well, one, fuck you, you're not getting a release, and secondly, we're going to book you very badly and basically make you jobbers. But then we're going to give up on that, and then give you the titles and actually push you in an effort to tempt you to stay. And then do that for a while, but then, fuck you, now we're going to give you a comedy gimmick.
Yes.
So, that's pretty cool.
Because Vince apparently never watched AWA, so he doesn't get the idea behind their gimmick. He was, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
Apparently, the Virginia Tech guy was inspired by Shine by Collective Soul.
He was the Collective Soul, okay.
Yeah, but I couldn't find anything about Blind Melon.
Huh.
But I feel like Blind Melon was one, but...
I don't know, like, the Blind Melon guy killed himself.
Yeah, I know that.
But, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Is that B-girl hot now?
Probably not. She was kind of chunky then, wasn't she?
Things change.
You like chunkers.
Is that true?
I don't know. You like chunky tuna.
I do like chunky tuna.
Anyways, Braun or any main roster wrestler who is worth anything.
Yeah. So, I've got 2 question marks and then 3 decidedly not question marks.
I like that we have so many question marks.
Like,
We're a very indecisive group this year.
So, my 2 question marks are, 1, Kenny Omega question mark, just because he did so much less than this year.
Yeah, but I think that was by choice.
It was, but like, like the 2017 and 18, he's like in the discussion for Wrestler of the Year. I'm turning off the podcast.
Okay.
What?
I'm listening.
You can't go to sleep.
I'm going to sleep. I'm just getting comfy.
You reclined and closed your eyes.
Wow, I was just resting my eyes. It's bright in here.
Did you eat too much cheese?
Yeah, too much cheese. It smells awful. Okay, yes, Kenny Omega, I gotcha. I mean, that might have been chosen, like, recuperating and also setting up a new promotion. And
he's a coward.
Yeah, I getcha.
Yeah, like
okay.
he just ended up doing so much less this year than the past 2.
There wasn't enough overhyped Kenny Omega matches this year.
Yeah, not really. Like,
I couldn't.
What's his best match this year?
I don't know, Pac maybe.
Oh no, the Dome Show.
Oh yeah.
His one New Japan match.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild to think that Omega and Tanahashi were IWGP champions this year.
Yep.
That seems like a while ago.
Yarp.
My other question mark, which may end up sounding super dumb by the time anyone hears this.
Oh, because you're going to say something later on that's going to be counterproductive? Or,
it won't be counterproductive. Although, actually, our Dome Show preview is counterproductive to what I'm going to say.
Oh.
Naito, question mark. Which,
okay.
By the time anyone hears this, Naito might be a double champion.
Yeah.
But I feel like he wasn't...
showcased a lot?
Showcased that much. He wasn't in the main event mix as much.
No, I feel like he was doing a lot of 8-man tags this year. But also, like, I feel like Okada was also doing a lot of 6-mans.
But Okada was champion for 6 months, so that's... Yeah. Or 8 months.
8 months.
Yeah, fuck.
And also the last 5 years.
And also all of the last 5 years. So those are my question marks, and then my very much not question marks. Number 1. Well, no. Number 3, I guess. Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
What a fucking piece of shit.
And just what a fucking bitch.
What a bitch.
What a little bitch.
For such, like, an indie guy.
Yeah.
Or indie roots.
Indie roots.
He is such a fucking corporate shill.
Yeah.
Like...
And also just, like, a little fucking bitch on Twitter.
Like, he got absolutely owned by Will Ospreay, who... in his own right, is not good on Twitter. Like, Will Ospreay is a weird guy with severe emotional problems, and he tooled on Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Because, like, did it start with, like, Seth Rollins saying he was the best wrestler in the world?
Yeah.
And Ospreay was like, knock knock, hello.
Hello.
And
I'm
then...
British.
And... You know, and Ospreay's had all these great matches, and Rollins hasn't had that many. And Rollins is like, yeah, well, you try working my schedule. Like, you wouldn't get to do all your big high-end singles matches all the time. You worked my schedule. And then Ospreay just posted, like...
how many matches he have this year?
I've had 7 more matches this year than you.
Yeah.
Like, just
and then Rollins went on, well, check my bank account.
Yeah, which is... guess what? You just lost the argument.
Yeah.
Like, you're such a pussy.
Yeah. I would love for there to be a Seth Rollins meet and greet so that I can just go and tell him how much of a pussy he is to his face.
Just...
hey, like, Colby, not even in wrestling standards, you're a fucking bitch. And
Yeah.
just see what he does.
Like, it's amazing what a complete bitch he has become. And then what was great was his booking sort of mirrored that. Like, his booking against Bray Wyatt... He was an absolute bitch.
Yeah.
He was the face world champion, and he was crying in fear.
Yep.
And then between the way he's booked on screen kayfabe and what a piece of shit he is in real life, they literally had no choice but to turn him heel to mirror everything else that's going on. So.
I hope that was his doing, though. Like, I hope that he was like, oh, fuck, I really want to be a heel again. Like, how do I be a heel? I don't know, let's just be a whiny pussy on Twitter, and then they'll have to make me one. Let's make the fans turn on me.
Yeah.
And then,
Number 2, Albert Charles Hardy Jr.
Hell yeah, I forgot about him.
ACH. There are not a lot of guys in the wrestling business who could have...
Or in life.
Or in the world. Who could have a racist shirt made about them, and somehow everyone gets mad at them. Like, you gotta fuck up so hard. Like, if he had just said, WWE made a racist shirt about me, and I'm mad about that, guess who'd be on your side? Everyone in the fucking world. But no, what he did was say, hey, WWE made a racist shirt about me, and I'm mad. Also, fuck Ring of Honor, and Jay Lethal is an Uncle Tom. Everyone's like, what?
Where did that come from?
Why did you need to say that?
I believe he also called himself Hard and said he's the real N-word, and then he quit wrestling.
And then he
He had a match, didn't he?
He quit WWE.
Yeah.
After much back and forth. Well, he quit, and you can't actually quit because you're under contract. WWE, realizing he was a bit of a hot potato, just gave him, let him quit, which they wouldn't for a lot of people, but definitely would for him. I think had one match, and I think he thought everyone would love him and be on his side. But then I think he called more people Uncle Toms.
Sure.
And then everyone told him he was an idiot and probably mentally unstable. And then he said, fuck it, I quit wrestling. That'll show you who's mentally unstable. And that's where we're at in the story now.
Yep.
I mean, ideally it ends with an ACH Page Del Rio double murder suey.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens.
The old double murder suey.
And then number one saw the days ticking down in 2019.
Also said, hold my beer.
Exactly what I was going to say. Saw ACH in a sizable lead and then said, hold my beer. I'm going to go back in time several years, make some homophobic posts on a weightlifting forum, and also do gay porn.
Porn.
Lars Sullivan,
gay porn.
number one with a bullet. I circled him on my little notes here because he wins. What the guy who was going to face John Cena at WrestleMania and then didn't because of anxiety. Only I don't know how much was anxiety and how much was WWE found the posts he made on that weightlifting forum. I was never really clear. Does he actually have mental problems, or did they just pull him because they found that shit?
Who fucking knows?
Because the anxiety thing came out first, and then the post came out.
And then the post.
So I didn't know if the anxiety was just cover for the post or what.
Yeah.
But regardless, and also he made fun of mental illness on the same forum, which is just doubly beautifully ironic. So between those two, I'm very proud of him. And I was talking with friend of the show, Kevin / Chris Mason / Eridonis, whatever you want to call him, who sent me a picture the other day of Lars doing the gay porn with Ted DiBiase superimposed over it, saying everybody's got a price, and us talking about how funny the whole situation was, and Kevin hoping that the situation was not done, and it ends with some sort of, once again, hilarious suicide.
Two things. Sorry, going back to your ACH. Let's not forget he had a NXT World Title match this year.
Yeah, he won the tournament of all the guys who had to change their names.
Yes. Because why would you let them keep their indie names?
The Jordan Miles, Isaiah Scott, Cameron Grimes, Bronson Reed.
Almost there.
There's one more.
Damian Priest,
and who's Dexter Loomis. I got it.
And
but then there was just like Boa and someone else.
No. Oh yeah, Boa. Yeah, but Angel Garza.
And Angel Garza. The those names memorial tournament.
So ACH left.
Yeah.
Wrestled for some buttfuck company in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Quit.
Yeah.
Then immediately unretired and had 4 more matches in 2019.
Oh, good for him.
So he's not even retired.
Oh.
He literally wrestled on December 29th.
Oh, he's back.
He did an AWE show in Atlanta where he beat Chip Day for the GWC title.
Chip Day's alright.
He also wrestled a tag match for MLW in Australia.
Chip Day has Chip Day has contacted 321 about booking.
Cool. He also tagged with former friend Dave Vega, besties in the world, against Sami Callihan and the Rascals at an AAW show.
Yeah. I think I knew that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, so ACH not actually retired.
Too bad.
Just insane.
Just crazy. I think that's all for that. What have you lost? Oh, you lost all your things.
I lost my pen again!
Oh, boy. Do you need it? Are you still writing?
I mean, I'm writing notes.
Oh, you're already notes. Okay.
See?
Well,
it's pointing at you.
Oh, it is pointing at me. Find your pen.
Well, we'll talk. I'll look while we talk.
Check your
folds. I found it!
Good job. I said check your folds.
Anyways.
Another fun one. Most overrated.
Let me tell you something.
Tell me something.
Let me tell you about a man who we just watched recently.
Oh.
The last match we watched before we did this podcast. I hate Jordan Devlin.
Ah, yes.
Jordan Devlin is Finn Balor. If Finn Balor was terrible. He is so shitty and boring and has a dumb face and a big jaw and talks stupid.
He has a huge stupid
and
jaw.
He literally does nothing for me. Also on that topic, Jay White and Juice Robinson forever and always will be on this list. You talk, I'm taking a nap.
Yeah, I don't have Juice. He didn't do much this year to be overrated.
He still sucks.
I'm not saying he doesn't.
He's also going to be a two-time double champion.
Double champion coming out of the dome, baby. I love it. I've got Baron Corbin because he shouldn't have a job. And then I've got Matt Taven because Matt Taven won a world title at Madison Square Garden in the year 2019.
Yep. Almost in the main event.
In what ROH wanted to be the main event, you silly geese. And you got to see him in another main event.
I got to see him live
in Mexico. And yeah, of course, number one, Jay White, no question.
God, I hate Jay White, but not as much as I hate Jordan Devlin.
That's fair.
No, you know what? It's about the same. It's evensies.
I actually don't know. I'd say they're about the same wrestling-wise. It's just that one of them was IWGP champion this year and main evented MSG.
Yeah.
And the other did not. So that's why Jay gets...
Every year from now on, Jay White... We're calling this the Jay White Memorial Trophy.
Someone's going to get mad at us about that. I can't remember who it was.
Who cares?
So I definitely said something about Jay White the other day, and someone said, I will fight you on Jay White, Scott. I think it might be Bless Lopez, but who knows?
Bless is stupid. Jay White fucking sucks. Alright, continue.
He definitely sucks for his position. I think he's fine as a wrestler, but not where they put him.
I think he's so interchangeable with any other white dude that does that style of wrestling.
I think when they just decided Kenny Omega's gone, you are Kenny Omega slot, it doesn't work.
Yeah, I agree.
But that's okay. As of the time anyone's hearing this, Jay White is your co-IWGP and Intercontinental Champion.
Could happen.
Let's say something nice about someone. Most underrated.
What do you got?
I got 4.
I also got 4.
And I think maybe 3 are the same as last year?
Oh.
Let me see.
Ishii.
Yeah.
Goto.
No.
Oh, well, why would Goto? Goto didn't do anything all year.
Yeah.
Ishii, Sonata.
Oh, I don't have Sonata either.
Oh.
I don't know. Sonata got like 2 world title matches this year.
Suzuki.
Suzuki's actually a good one. Who I don't have.
Always the same.
Yeah. This is one of the ones that didn't print out for me. Who did I have last year? Hit me. I'll tell you the one I didn't have last year.
Underrated, improved, underrated, technical, work fit. Where are we? I'm so confused. I am so lost.
Fall from Grace, overrated, underrated.
You had, last year, Scott Henson had Don't Call Me Antonio Cesaro.
Yeah.
Sanada.
I had Sonata last year, okay.
Finn Balor.
Oh, yeah.
Oni Lord Khan.
Oh, yeah.
And Tomohiro Ishii.
So I have 2 the same. I forgot that Lorcan at some point this year asked for his release and was not granted it.
And then resigned. For 5 years.
So
last year, mine were 3 Mexicans and an Italian German.
Eichner, and who are your Mexicans?
Phoenix, Dave Fantasma, who is now a WWE property, and Vikingo.
Yeah. Vikingo. Who
can also be on the list this year.
Yeah,
he fucking rules.
He's going to get something at some point.
Somebody will give him a big ad.
Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't worked PWG.
Yeah. But
it'll come.
Maybe AAA won't let him.
Maybe. I don't know.
Aren't they still mad about that thing?
They are still mad. Yeah, because they pulled Cavernario, I think?
Yeah.
From Bola?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they were mad.
Yeah, they dumb. Everyone in Mexico is stupid. Hot take. So the one I was sure I didn't have last year was, I was going to say Chad Gable, and then you were going to say who? And then...
Shortiga.
Shortiga. Poor guy.
Poor guy.
He's... I don't know if anyone knows this. I don't know if anyone used to watch NXT. He's a really good wrestler.
He is really good.
And doesn't get to do stuff too often. And now his name is Shorty G.
And he wrestles in basketball shorts.
And he wears basketball shorts. Yep. Because fuck everything.
And arm sleeves.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. He's got to look cool.
Gotta look cool.
You know, nothing like a 5'10" guy wearing basketball gear.
I think that's a very generous 5'10", but I respect that. He's like 5'6".
I'm gonna prove you right.
I'll show you. So I had him. I had Ishii last year because any year that Ishii is not world champion all year is a year that he is underrated. And I had the same number one that I'm going to say I've had every year since 2013. Fucking Cesaro.
You're living in a fantasy world where they care about.
I understand. I know nothing's going to happen.
What did you say it was? 5'6"?
Yes.
5'8".
Isn't that like an inch or two shorter than Daniel Bryan, who does not have to do a short gimmick?
Yes. But as long as there's somebody shorter than Daniel Bryan, then that guy does the short gimmick.
Isn't he taller than Adam Cole?
Yeah, but Adam Cole's in NXT.
All right.
Stop trying to find a loophole.
Stop it. And then the other one I didn't have last year, which is one that makes me real sad, is noted non-wrestling manager Sami Zayn. Which...
Can't win them all.
Such a bummer.
He's being punished for being Syrian.
I guess so.
If you can't do Saudi Arabia, we punish you. Unless you're Daniel Bryan or Kevin Owens.
Then it's okay.
Because they're white.
Oh, yeah.
Sammy's only partially white.
But he looks really white.
I
He's
know.
a ginger.
I know. But his name's Sami Zayn.
That's not actually his name. His name is French. It's like Remy something.
Yeah.
Remy the Rat?
Remy Gerard.
Sure. Vin Gerard of 2000's Chikara fame.
Oh, yeah.
Deep cuts.
Yeah. Forgot about him. For me.
For you.
Two of them I don't think are underrated by...
You're a big guy.
You and me.
For you.
For you. You and me do not... You and I.
You and I.
Do not underrate these guys.
But
I feel like the world...
The public.
Underrates these two guys.
Okay.
And I think it'll be pretty obvious later on how I feel about one of them.
Okay.
But Sonata, even though he does get title matches, I feel like the rest of the world doesn't know him.
That's true.
And I feel like if you ask people New Japan stuff, they don't really know Sonata.
They name a lot of people before Sonata. For sure.
The other one is Shingo.
Yeah.
Who, yes, he is a great wrestler, and everybody who knows Japan knows him.
Yeah.
But outside of Japan, no one knows him.
And especially pre-New Japan.
Yes.
He's at least gotten a little more notoriety now.
Yes. And then the other two, one, I mean, should be high on everyone's list of underrated because next to Kelly is the greatest worker of this or any generation.
Living or dead.
Dustin Rhodes.
Yes, Dustin Rhodes is a good one.
Dustin fucking kills
Dustin Rhodes is a good one.
He is 51 years old.
Yeah, that is a real good one.
And he fucking kills it.
You know what? I'm going to use my one steal.
And
I'm invoking my steal.
And my number one, which I think is an interesting choice because I guess of his position in like what he does in wrestling.
Yeah.
But over the last what is it? 3 months that AEW's been on TV? 4 months?
3.
Is it October?
Beginning of October.
October
2nd. If you want to be...
Of what year?
If you want to be Pacific. 1976. It was the bicentennial.
Okay.
I don't remember. Stop pressuring me.
Used to have a question mark in his name. Used to have a last name.
Yes.
In his name.
I love Trent. He's great.
Trent fucking rules.
He's awesome.
He had a killer match with Pentagon, killer match with Phoenix.
Killer match with the Bucks.
With the Bucks.
Best Friends Bucks was really
Best Friend Bucks. I mean, also, side note to that is, also Chuck Taylor. But Chuck was already really fun.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Trent was sort of like a sidekick for a while.
And bonus for Trent, he totally fucked over New Japan.
Yeah, whatever.
he fucked them over huge. He had verbally agreed to a new contract.
Yeah. Well, live your life.
Live your life.
But Trent fucking rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, Trent's great. He had some killer singles matches in AEW this year, so.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love Trent. He's a real dude buster.
He is a dude buster.
Yeah.
I miss Kalen Croft. What's he up to?
What is Kalen Croft up to? And wherefore Tyler Rex?
Retired.
Oh.
Probably like in sales. Probably a car salesman or a bounty hunter or like, I don't know, all those jobs that wrestlers get when they retire.
I loved all those mix and match tag teams of the late aughts, because like
I feel like we've talked about these several times on different podcasts.
we probably have, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because like Dude Busters and like Ryder and Hawkins, and then they sort of switched partners.
No,
and then Lance Archer got in there, and Tyler Rex got in there.
Archer and Hawkins.
Yeah,
and it was
there was like originally Ryder and Hawkins.
Yes,
and then Archer and Hawkins,
and then Rex and Hawkins,
and then
the Dude Busters, and then they broke up. They fired Archer.
Yeah,
I think Rex quit or got fired.
Yeah,
and then they put Trent and Hawkins together.
Right. Good times. To Trent and Hawkins, who would both go on to be in the Battle of Los Angeles at various times, one of whom would have maybe the most disappointing match with AJ Styles of all time. The most disappointing match with AJ Styles that wasn't...
Shinsuke Nakamura in WWE.
Nakamura, Chris Jericho, or Ricochet.
Yeah.
I don't think I have him for awards or anything. I don't.
Ricochet?
No, I feel like AJ Styles is worth talking about.
Sure.
In that
he's consistently still.
I don't know if he's good anymore.
I think he's fine.
I think he's good because him and Rollins will actually come up later, but
that's true. But okay.
He has so many disappointing matches and feuds, like the whole Jericho feud right off the bat when he showed up. And then, obviously, all the Nakamura matches. Yep. And this year, all the Ricochet matches.
Yep.
Like,
here's what I think happened.
I think he's just been WWE'd, I guess.
But I think he chose to WWE because he's kind of said he's on his way out. He doesn't want to do this for a lot longer.
Same as Nakamura,
He's got
basically.
4 kids.
Enough.
So, I think it's more of just let's keep my body healthy so that I can raise my kids when I retire. So, I don't really blame him for it. But, his matches have been... pretty lackluster, except for one this year, and that is going to come up later for me.
So many of his matches that look really good on paper end up not being that good.
Especially when he has good opponents.
Yeah.
You know? Even some of the Rey Mysterio stuff wasn't that good.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, whatever. He's not 35 anymore.
He's not a young man of 35. Like me. Last year. Worst wrestler.
Should we just rename this the Baron Corbin Memorial Trophy?
I mean, he's on the list.
He's on my list. I also wrote The Miz and Taichi.
I meant, here's the thing.
You're going to use your one steal?
You listen to me. You look me in the goddamn eyes right now. That's not a steal. I thought about The Miz a few days ago and I didn't write it down.
Okay.
It's not a steal.
Fair.
Let the record state. Don't go to the Formula One advisory board the second you hit me with your car and tell on me. We're talking about Senna and Prost, by the way. If you guys don't know your late 80s, early 90s Formula One, get on our level, first of all.
Tattletaling is the way to win.
Tattling is the way to win the Formula One championship.
Tattling as a grown-ass man.
You piece of shit. I wish nothing
second you gotta run and complain.
Nothing but the worst for you. P.S. Senna, hell of a documentary. 2010.
R.I.P.
Where was I?
I don't know.
The Miz. Yeah. So I'm just writing down The Miz. Because I had thought of him. So, you said Corbin, Miz, and what?
Taichi.
I'm not going to say Taichi.
He won the Never title off Jeff Cobb.
That's bad. And that match was bad. But he had at least one really good match with Ishii.
I don't blame you.
Ishii just hit him as hard as he could and made him hit him as hard as he could back.
Sure.
And it actually ended up good.
He still sucks.
When Taichi is probably the laziest wrestler in pro wrestling. Because I think...
More than Joey Ryan?
Oof. Touche. He is a lazy wrestler in pro wrestling. Because I think he can sort of go, he just literally never does. Because, he went against Ishii.
Know your spots.
Know your spots. One.
Yeah. Come out with Bunny Girl. That's a spot.
So, do you mean to... is that your whole list?
Yeah, I mean, there's more.
Do you mean to tell me your worst wrestler list includes 0 women?
I don't really count them, though. Like, we could just do a worst of awards for women.
That's true. P.S. I do not know where I heard it. It wasn't even that long ago, but it was just someone saying, "Who's your least favorite race?" And then very brief pause. Women. I very much enjoyed that. Wherever it was from. Props out to if it was you. Yeah. So
I know you're trying to get out of me, but I'm not going to say it.
What are you?
I don't know. I'm just kidding. Like, are we talking about the Iconics?
They're my number one. They're my co-number one.
Yeah.
They're horrible.
They're terrible.
They're the worst.
Yeah.
They ruined a new title.
Yeah, but it's also a tag team title. Like, you think anyone cares about that in the company?
I mean, if who are they? Sasha and Bailey?
Sure.
That's a team.
Sure.
If they had just held them for a while,
yeah,
probably would have been all right.
Sure.
Instead of, did they lose them to the Iconics
in their first defense?
And was that at Mania?
And after not defending it for like 3 months or 2 months or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did the Iconics win at Mania, or did Bailey and Sasha win at Mania? I don't know.
You think I remember women's wrestling?
It's your favorite. But yeah, so the Iconics went on to, I think, hold the tag titles for a sizable amount of time. I think they just lost a bunch of matches cleanly that were non-title matches, and then would get DQ'd in title matches. I don't think they had a legitimate win in their entire reign. And also, they're absolute dog shit wrestlers.
Yeah.
They were not good in NXT, got called up, and got worse. And one of them is trans.
The titles were created at Elimination Chamber in February, which is where Bailey and Sasha won.
And did they lose them at Mania?
And then they lost them at WrestleMania to the Iconics.
The next month.
After having 0 successful defenses.
Awesome.
And then they held them until August.
And that made Sasha quit wrestling for a while.
Yep. Where Alexa and Nikki won them.
Right.
And held them for 2 months. And then the Kabuki Warriors won them.
That's right.
So the Kabuki Warriors are currently the champs.
Yeah.
And are definitely heels.
That I will bring up later. That reminded me of something. And the other thing I had was Carmella, because she's also just...
a woman?
She is just a woman.
You know what is...
she's terrible.
You know what else is a Loki, like Brandon Silvestri, shoot names on a podcast.
Ooh.
Is also a low-key best storyline of the year. I believe it was this year. Was Corey Graves cheating on his wife with Carmella this year?
Yes, that was this year.
Yeah, that fucking ruled.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
Respect. And now they're like together, right?
Yeah, they're dating, and they're like pretty open about it. Like, it's everywhere on social media.
That's awesome. Drew's going to the bathroom with the door open. I'm gonna commentate how this is going. I'm not hearing anything hit water yet.
I mean, I can hear you still.
I think he's having stage fright.
I can hear you still, so you can do the next award.
I think he's having trouble finding his penis. He's given up on finding the penis. He's now going to try to pee out his ass. And he's having more success with this, I think. Nope, he's slipped and fallen over. His head is in the toilet. He's not breathing. Guys, we lost Drew. Drew, what are you doing?
I told you, keep going.
Are you doing anything?
I'm pooping.
Are you? Oh, Jesus, why did this have to happen?
I don't know. We had a lot of KFC.
Look, it doesn't matter how much KFC you have. You keep it in until you get sick. You don't just go
until it uses 100% of the nutrients.
Yes. Exactly. Anyway, fine. I'll start on the next thing. Actually, that'll give me my segue. So the next thing is worst match, and while it's not the worst match of the year, I wanted to talk about the match that actually just got mentioned. The Iconics. Oh no, Drew's come out with no pants.
That's a gift just for you.
You know what? That was a quick poop. I respect
I pushed
that.
it out.
You pushed.